the real thing. If the IRS could see me now, flying a light sailcraft, single-handed, 2 million miles out from a bluish-white dwarf star, fiddling frantically with the shrouds, guided less by the instruments than by the thrust against my web hammock and the ripples in the tremendous, near-weightless mirror sail. Glancing into the sun without blinking, then at the stars without being night-blind, dipping near the sun without being fried, all due to the quick-adjusting goggles and temp-controlled skin-tight pressure suit the Chirpsithra had given me. This entire trip was deductible, of course. The Draco Tavern had made me a good deal of money over the years, but I never could have paid for an interstellar voyage otherwise. As the owner of the Draco Tavern, Earth's only multi-species bar, I was quite legitimately touring the stars to find new products for my alien customers. Would Internal Revenue object to my actually enjoying myself? I couldn't make myself care. The trip out on the Chirpsithra liner, that alone was something I'd remember the rest of my life. This too, if I lived. Best not to distract myself with memories. Hroyd's system was clustered tightly around its small, hot sun. Space was thick with asteroids and planets and other sailing ships. Every so often some massive piece of space junk bombed the sun, or a storm would bubble up from beneath the photosphere, and my boat would surge under the pressure of the flare. I had to fiddle constantly with the shrouds. The pointer was aimed at black space. Where was that damned spaceport? Huge and massive it had seemed, too big to lose, when I spun out my frail silver sail and launched. How long ago? The clock told me. 20 hours, though it didn't feel that long. The spaceport was coin-shaped, spun for varying gravities. Maybe I was trying to see it edge on? I tilted the sail to lose some velocity. The fat sun expanded. My mind felt the heat. If my suit failed, it would fail all at once, and I wouldn't have long to curse my recklessness. Or even Chirpsithra-supplied equipment wouldn't help me if I fell into the sun. I looked outward in time to see a silver coin pass over me. Good enough. Tilt the sail forward, pick up some speed, pull my orbit outward, slow down. Don't move the sail too fast or it'll fold up. Wait a bit, then tilt the sail to spill the light. Drop a bit. Wait again. Watch a black coin slide across the sun. Tilt to slow. Tilt again to catch up. It was another 2 hours before I could pull into the spaceport shadow, fold the sail, and let a tractor beam pull me in. My legs were shaky as I descended the escalator to level 6. There was Earth gravity on 6, minus a few kilos, and also a multi-species restaurant bar. I was too tired to wonder about the domed boxes I saw on some of the tables. I wobbled over to a table, turned on the privacy bubble, and tapped TT Hatchneck's Ool carefully. That code was my life. A wrong character could broil me, freeze me, flatten me, or have me drinking liquid methane or breathing prussic acid. An Earth-like environment formed around me. I peeled off my equipment and sank into a web, sighing with relief. I still ached everywhere. What I really needed was sleep, but it had been glorious. A warbling whistle caused me to look up. My translator said, "Sir or madam, what can I bring you?" The bartender was a small, spindly Hroyden, and his environment suit glowed at dull red heat. I said something alcoholic. "Alcohol? What is your physiological type?" "TT Hatchneck's Ool." "Ah, may I recommend something?" "A liqueur, opal fire." Considering the probable distance to the nearest gin and tonic, fine. What proof is it? I heard his translator skip a word and amplified. What % ethyl alcohol? 34 with no other metabolic poisons. About 70 proof? Over water ice, please. He brought a clear glass bottle. The fluid within did indeed glitter like an opal. Its beauty was the first thing I noticed. Then the taste, slightly tart, with an overtone that can't be described in any human language. a crackling aftertaste, and a fire spreading through my nervous system. I said, "That's wonderful. What about side effects?" "There are additives to compensate, thiamine and the like. You will feel no ugly after effects," the Heroidan assured me. "They'd love it on Earth." What's it cost?" "Quite cheap. 29 chirp notes per flagon. Transport costs would be up to the Chirpsithra, but I'm sure Chickenthil Interstellar would sell specs for manufacture." This could pay for my whole trip. I jotted the names. Chirp characters for Opal Fire and Chickenthil Interstellar. The stuff was still dancing through my nervous system. I drank again so it could dance on my taste buds, too. To hell with sleep. I was ready for another new experience. "These boxes, I see them on all the tables. What are they?" "Full sensory entertainment devices. Cost is 6 chirp notes for use." He tapped keys and a list appeared. Titles, I assumed, in alien script. "If you can't read this, there is voice translation." I dithered. Tempting. Dangerous. But a couple of these might be worth taking back. Some of my customers can't use anything I stock. They pay only cover charges. "How versatile is it? Your customers seem to have a lot of different sense organs." "Hey, would this thing actually give me alien senses?" The bartender signaled negative. "The device acts on your central nervous system. I assume you have one? There, at the top? Ah, good. It feeds you a story skeleton, but your own imagination puts you in context and fills in the background details. You live a programmed story, but largely in terms familiar to you. Mental damage is almost unheard of." "Will I know it's only an entertainment?" "You might know from the advertisements. Shall I show you?" The Heroidan raised the metal dome on a many-jointed arm and poised it over my head. I felt the heat emanating from him. "Perhaps you would like to walk through an active volcano?" He tapped 2 buttons with a black metal claw, and everything changed. The Volok merchant pulled the helmet away from my head. He had small, delicate-looking arms and a stance like a tyrannosaur. Torso horizontal, swung from the hips. A feathery down covered him, signaling his origin as a flightless bird. "How did you like it?" "Give me a minute." I looked about me. Afternoon sunlight spilled across the tables, illuminating alien shapes. The Draco Tavern was filling up. It was time I got back to tending bar. It had been nearly empty, I remembered, when I agreed to try this stunt. I said, "That business at the end?" "We end all of the programs that way when we sell to level 4 civilizations. It prevents disorientation." Good idea. Whatever the reason, I didn't feel at all confused. Still, it was a hell of an experience. I couldn't tell it from the real thing. The advertisement would have alerted an experienced user. "You're actually manufacturing these things on Earth?" "Guatemala has agreed to license us. The climate is so nice there, and so I can lower the price per unit to $3,000 each." "Sell me 2, I said. It'd be a few years before they paid for themselves. Maybe someday I really would have enough money to ride the Chirpsithra liners, if I didn't get hooked myself on these full sensory machines. Now, about Opal Fire, I can't believe it's really that good. I travel for Chickenthil Interstellar, too. I have sample bottles." "Let's try it."